On this week's episode, we talk about Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Yes, we also talk about the new Netflix, The Guilty.
And other shows and news of the week. We just got back from the theater where we saw Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Venom. So dark. So serious. No,
not at all. Not at all. In fact, as we were going in, the ticket taker said, "Oh, I saw this last night. It was hilarious." So just right away, I feel like that set the tone. I set my expectations.
We knew from the first one that spoiler alert. So they changed the character drastically. So in this one, Venom is an anti-hero, borderline hero. More hero than anti-hero. And it would be tough to change that. And they didn't even try. And on the trailer, it was clear that they would not try.
I didn't think they would go this far, though.
Oh, I think so, because the trailer is like the symbiote singing and making him breakfast. It was like, yeah.
Sure, but I mean, bad guys can be goofy. And can sing and stuff, but this was like, oh, your girlfriend dumped you. I'm gonna take care of you, bro. I love you, bro.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not. Those are lines in the movie. Like Venom says, "I love you," which is again, I haven't read the comic books, but it just didn't seem right. And I think they went a little bit too far into the buddy pal friendship thing.
Yeah, some points to consider, right? Considering that they changed the character drastically, like really like badly, you know. And that's something like they do all the time, but in this one they made him the hero. Anyways, there's that. Very comedic. It's funny, you know. But we would expect that Carnage would be Carnage, like the book. You know, if Venom is bad, Carnage is worse. You know, he's like basically a symbiote made of coat blood. You know, so he's red, scarlet. You know, Carnage. What's the adjective?
Carnal.
For Carnage.
Yeah.
Carnageable.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Anyways, so we would expect he would be like really bad, and the movie does. I mean, he's not really bad. Also, there's not a lot of time for him to be bad.
It's true, and it's a really short movie.
Yeah.
It's a really short movie. It was, I don't know, an hour and a half. It was not long at all. I don't remember.
So,
90 minutes.
It was fun. You know, back in the 90s and 80s, and I'm not even talking about Superman. I'm talking about post Superman Christopher Reeves movies. We had superhero movies that, you know, some people look back and I guess because of the whole MCU hype and say, oh, these movies are so bad, you know, like Fantastic Four, the first one and the second one, and then the one that people say is bad and actually not, and then comes the third one, and that one was bad. That one was terrible. And when people come and say, oh, you change the character, and some people come and say, no, you can change the characters, like freedom of creativity, blah 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 blah. That will not make it bad. That's the slow example of how you change the characters and make it bad. Not even the core characteristics of the characters are the same. You know, they not only change the color of the Human Torch, but they change the fact that I can't remember which one is adopted. Like he and Sue are not actually siblings. One is adopted, so they change little things here. It's not like they change one little thing here. They change little things here. At the end, it was something else. And in that case, it was bad. This was funny, you know. But back to the Fantastic Four movies that people claim are bad, or even some old Batman movies, or even some of the original Spider-Man movies. This one has the stuff that the old movies had, because there was no sense of creating a universe. I guess there was no interest of creating a universe. So, I already said spoiler alert, but the villain dies at the end. And Carnage, since he was created until, all the day, he's a long run character. He's not a character that born in one day and died in the other. So that's one of the flaws that movies back in the day had, and this one had the same.
Yeah, it is a pretty standard superhero movie thing to like kill your huge villain.
Yeah.
Very quickly instead of locking them up or chasing them off for now or something to like definitively end them.
Yeah, and there's like it's a flaw of creating villains. You don't develop them properly. You kill them. You don't have time for them to develop for the sequels. But and the MCU does the same thing too. They killed Killmonger, that people say is a great villain, which I honestly don't think is that great. But they killed what's that bucket on Thor? Dark World. Is that Dark World? In the second Thor, they killed the Dark Elf. So yeah, they still do that, right? But with Carnage, it's a big villain.
Yeah.
It's as bad as killing the Joker on the first Batman, 1989. Or the Dark Knight. Well, the Dark Knight, the actor died, so they couldn't do anything more anyways. But considering all that, the movie is being successful. Is already bit Shang-Chi in the box office. Is I don't know. I feel like it's both a little about COVID, and we don't have much to look forward. And this one, has been announced doing all this time and finally is out. There's the Marvel factor, and there's also the collector syndrome. There's like it's like, I saw this one, I have to see this one.
Yeah,
I have to see this one. I have to see this one. In this case, you're collecting movies, even if you don't buy or actually collect them, but you need to see them.
See the whole set.
And Marvel, the MCU, Disney created that culture, which is not bad, but to come and praise Venom as a great movie, it's no.
I liked the first one. I enjoyed it. This one, it didn't work. And the effects were good. The actors did their jobs very, very well. For me, it was all the problems were in the story and in the writing.
And it
just didn't work. There's a lot of cognitive dissonance, and
you mentioned writing and not only the length of the movie, but it feels rushed. For instance, like the girlfriend is back with a new boyfriend. It seems like there's no reason for them to be there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, there really isn't. What was her name? Anne?
Yeah,
from the first one.
There's a particular moment in the movie that she helps get Venom back to Eddie, but anyone could do that, or they could find a different solution. I think it was like in the whole Venom kissing them and cheering for them. Oh, she's gonna go back to us. She loves us, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, it just got really muddled with like who Venom is and what, like you were talking about all these changes to characters. I don't mind changes like cosmetic things, whatever. But I feel like here they like really got in and changed the core of like who he is and his motivations. And at that point, this is a totally different character.
Yeah.
It might look the same, it might have the same name, but like
it doesn't look the same. See, he misses.
Well, yeah, there's that too. And then there's this post-credit scene where tying it in with the new Spider-Man, and where they're yanked into this multiverse, and Venom stands up and looks at the TV and sees Tom Holland, Peter Parker, and he just goes, this guy. Like, he just suddenly hates Peter for no reason whatsoever.
It leaks the screen, which is a classic signature move from Venom, from the books. It's like straight from the books. But it does not make sense. They don't know each other. There's no hate. There's no love. Yeah. Besides the fact that Venom in this universe or whatever that is going on, he's a good guy.
He is. So, yeah, I don't know how this is going to work.
So they're going to team up?
Yeah. Like, are we just going to forget about this? Are they going to bring him into Homecoming? Is he going to show up later?
That was one piece of writing that is like kind of it's I see they trying to use, and I'm pretty sure a lot of fans are already using that to justify the hate of the symbiote for Peter Parker. It's like, oh, symbiotes have billions of years of knowledge of the multiverse, yada yada yada. So maybe the symbiote was in another universe that hates some other Peter in some other universe.
Okay.
You know, connecting to the ridiculous Topher Grace symbiote, maybe because it was a hive. What's it called?
Hive mind.
Hive mind. So maybe they're gonna use something like that. It's a cop out. Poor writing. It's
Yeah. So, okay, overall, taking all this into account, I feel like if you have to choose between Shang-Chi and this one, I'd rather go see Shang-Chi.
Oh, if you have to choose, I mean, Shang-Chi is as a movie is definitely as a whole is definitely superior to Venom.
I found it more enjoyable. And the plot just like made more sense.
But I mean, if you're looking to laughs, Venom beats Shang-Chi.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, so the Sony Spiderverse is connecting to the MCU, and let's see what the future brings after the new Spider-Man. Yeah. Since there was a scene, there was a tease for the future. There's a character that has like bright blue eyes and might become the next threat. But yeah, it's I don't know. I feel like
it's good action sequences, but like all the twists were really predictable.
I feel like I mean, the whole sequel, reboot, remake, revival is a cop out. It's a coward move. And Hollywood is is known for taking the safe path, the one that least resistance, that might make more money, but I think like with the comic book hero genre as is now, it's like if you build it, they will come. If you make it, they will come to watch. You could risk it, and and it still would be successful. Like Fox and Marvel did back in the day. They had the X-Men movies, but then they had the Blade movies, which was full on vampire hunter horror. Like I think that maybe half a joke in all the three movies. It's serious and it's for the plot. It's for the characters. It's for the story. There's nothing to sell motorcycle. There's a Ducati product placement.
Yes.
It's like, oh, okay.
The Bravia TV,
which is Sony, but
That's right. And a character literally walks in, looks at it, and goes, "Nice TV."
Yes.
Like it is some pretty shameless product.
And then the TV gets destroyed, and he gets a new one, and then you see the box. With the brand, with the model,
very large.
No, it's I knew it was Sony. I was like, really, guys, you guys trying to sell stuff?
It's pretty bald-faced. Like.
Anyways, luckily, the new Spider-Man game for PS5 is coming next year. I think it's next year or the end of next year. Anyways, they showed the teaser at the last. I showed you. The last Sony the PlayStation showcase. In that one, sounds like Venom's gonna be the Venom we love to hate. And he scared the crap out of Peter and us readers. Anyways, so Venom, Let There Be Carnage. And it was like there's not much to talk about the movie. Even like you had Woody Harrelson there, but poorly done.
Like I said, like he did his job. He acted the script he got. And did great. But the writing, just, I don't mind a short movie. Like we, by all means, I feel like we quite often talk about things dragging. And so short is fine. Like all that acting, all the effects were pretty good. It was just like on the whole product was like okay.
That's simple things,
fun.
You get this guy to get this symbiote, this powerful creature from a different planet that gives him powers to do like all sorts of things, and then he goes and rob a car, and then he walks around. I was like, in the books he would like be jumping from building to building, and then they would fight in the top of the buildings. And this one is like, there was also another character, Shriek, that was also poorly done. There's like some sort of trying to justify his motivations in the beginning. Oh, he had a girlfriend and she was taken from him, and then pisses him more. He was already bad, but pisses him even more. And anyways, it's a mess. It's doing well, good. So maybe we're gonna see more. Maybe in the future they're gonna do some more things. There's definitely some phases of Venom in the books that he gets closer to being a actual good guy, a spy working for the government and the Thunderbolts and all that. But apparently he hates Spider-Man for reasons we don't know.
We'll find out.
Which already creates even if there's an explanation for the whole symbiote connection with millions of years of knowledge of the hive mentality. There's like Eddie might not be on board for it, and he's like, no, and they do that the whole time in this movie as they did in the first one. Yeah. And because in the books, there's what connects them is not because the friendship or love or the crap they put in this one, is the hate they have for Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And you have a big, strong guy that hates Parker. Then you have this alien, super powerful, that hates Parker. Together they become this monster killing machine. That
So I mean, like we fundamentally have changed who and what Venom is, and if the end result was something that was like really interesting or compelling, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Yes.
But I just feel like this, at least in this, like in the last movie, okay, this is interesting. This one, okay.
And you know what?
Fun. I didn't find it terribly like compelling or intriguing. It was just okay.
Yeah. And even like even doing all that, they could make it hard by making Carnage like stab people to the necks or to their guts and do something like. But no, they choose PG-13, funny for the kids, and. Yeah, and
it shouldn't be for the kids. This is not a kid movie.
But
by any stretch of the imagination.
But there's the thing. Maybe what it was. Maybe what they did in the first one that was not supposed to work because it's completely against the character. It's completely different. But maybe some people liked it. Maybe they invested on. It's like, okay, let's do more. Odd couple dynamic,
Yeah, really lean into the comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like they leaned into it and then just kind of slipped. It was like, whoa. Which, I mean, they say all this stuff. It is hard work to do.
Oh yeah.
What they do and coming up with a good idea. Like, I don't want to just flail around and bash somebody's hard work. It just didn't work this time.
They're gonna do more, and maybe in the future they're gonna do the actual Venom or not. And again, and in the conversation we had last week, that's my concern about changing characters in mass media, because when you change in a comic book for, let's say, next issue is gonna be completely different Spider-Man, completely different Venom, or next 6 months, right? After that run, it goes back to normal. Right? And Peter Parker is going to be Spider-Man and Eddie Brock's going to be Venom. So the characters you changed, even when you did something like the Age of Apocalypse or some other comic book saga that you drastically changed the universe, the New 52, Infinity Crisis and all that. Right? But and then goes back to the classics, the originals, and and that's back to the source material, the characters as they developed in that moment was a re-lecture, as I would say. It was a
retelling.
It was a moment that some author was inspired to change the story a little bit. But when you do stuff like a mass media, like a movie, like for Venom or even TV shows, that the first movie was out and it was out for what. 2-3 years until you got the new one, and this one's gonna be for 2-3 years, and then it goes like half a decade with a character that is that way. So that might change drastically how the character is for future generations. That will change the character forever. Period.
Yeah.
To a point that am I even change the book and try to retell the original origin story?
Yes.
You know, and you saw stuff like that all the time on Smallville. We had this character named Chloe Sullivan that was never in the books. She made it to the books. We had this character in the opposite. No, this is not the opposite. The actual same situation on Batman, and sometimes it's good. The Batman animated adventures. There was this character named Harley Quinn that made into the books and then made into the movies.
Yeah,
you know, but that
was so cool.
But that was different. They created a character.
Yeah.
So it's for Chloe Sullivan. When you change a character in mass media these days to an instance, that it might change the character forever. Because, you know, Black Nick Fury, you know, Samuel L. Jackson, they cast him, great actor, all the merits for him, to the movies, and they changed the characters in that universe to the point that they went back to the books, killed the original Nick Fury, and brought this guy showed up. How are you? My name is Nick Fury. It's like, oh, not Nick Fury. It's like, yeah, Nick Fury Jr. So Nick Fury had this romance with a lady we never heard. I mean, of course, Nick Fury. You never hear things. He's super secret, and he's cool in the books.
Tracks.
And he's cool in the books. Anyways, and then he suddenly Nick Fury is black to the point that, you know, they erase the other one. And Coulson came up too. Again, a new character created, fine. But, you know, so when they change characters in mass media these days, it might change them forever.
Sure.
Which is...
So you think Venom in the comic books might start to, like, skew towards this?
I hope not.
Sort of comedic, buddy.
I hope not.
That's they call themselves the Lethal Protectors.
Is it? I mean, I think that's actual title from a book. But I mean, if it happens during a period, a series, an arch of story, you should find it to make that constantly. You know, it's like Sony clearly went for the Deadpool route. They wanted a Deadpool.
Yeah.
And it's not that good.
And I was thinking about it too, like this balance between like comedy and then these like really wholesome sweet moments and then just like horrifically wildly inappropriate violence. Deadpool struck that balance here. Yeah, I think they were going for that, and it just missed the mark. Also,
there's a key fact about Deadpool. Tom Hardy is a great actor by all means. He doesn't do a great idiot. Ryan Reynolds, he was born an idiot. So there's that.
And it's definitely like he does that kind of humor.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about being born an idiot, but definitely born to do that kind of humor.
I'm not offending Mr. Reynolds, so Mr. Reynolds and Mrs. Lively and their lawyers, please don't come. I'm talking about how he portrays the idiot like he was born one. I'm not saying he was.
Acting.
Maybe he is the system. No, maybe his method, he becomes the idiot that everybody wants. Or maybe he's not method. Maybe he's the system. He was born the idiot and he's making money out of it. So kudos for him both ways.
Yeah. Anyways.
So Venom, Let There Be Carnage is out in the theaters. So if you want to go watch, go watch, but go quick because next week there's James Bond is back.
Yeah, and this is Daniel Craig's final appearance,
for the last time. Yeah,
this is a big deal.
And there's already rumors and conversations about who's gonna be the next James Bond. Henry Cavill said, "I want it," and some other people say, "I want it." So we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Okay. We had a busy week. We also watched The Guilty. This is a Netflix?
New Netflix movie, brand new, with Jake
Gyllenhaal.
And who else? There's any Peter Skarsgård is there. We don't see him, but he's there.
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke is there too. You don't see him, and you're gonna know why because most of the movie takes. Paul Dano is there as well.
Yeah, Bill Burr again. Just a little bit.
Yeah,
but
and
those are the big names that I recognize.
There's a woman in the movie too. It's because those are the big names.
Yeah.
Yeah. They actually
Martinez.
cast the little girl to be a little girl, which I really liked.
I was impressed.
Yeah. So quick plot of the movie.
We're in it all takes place, one of the cool things about it, all takes place inside the 911 call center. Jake Gyllenhaal is a cop who is working in the 911 call center. He gets a call from a woman who's been abducted, and so now he spends the whole movie trying to rescue her just through phone calls. But then as he's calling people and trying to coordinate these efforts, we see he's got his own like really serious emotional traumas to deal with. Turns out like he killed a guy. Spoilers, by the way. Turns out he killed a guy on duty, and that's why he's working in the 911 call center. He's got a trial tomorrow. His marriage is falling apart, and all this is getting poured into this. He's got to rescue this woman.
Yeah. And there's like, it's very intense. The movie is like it's like pseudo real time. It's not actually real time, but it's like built to be.
It definitely feels
they
that
use
way.
time really well, and it feels like it's real time. Mm-hmm. And there's like some twists. It's very intense. Jake Gyllenhaal is a monster of an actor. He's really great.
Yes.
And the people that interact with him through the phone are really good. I even asked. We talk about it, it's like, so maybe you're gonna get an Oscar for someone that was never actually on the movie.
Yeah, because pretty much all those other big names we mentioned, like we never see them, we just hear them over phone calls.
Yeah. And I mean, since they gave an Oscar to Penelope Cruz for 15 seconds on that Woody Allen movie, so you know, anything can happen. But it's intense. Antoine Fuqua movie, and the guy, you know, Training Day, Tears of the Sun, Southpaw with Jake Gyllenhaal, The End of Watch with maybe is that Fuqua? Let me see this real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. End of Watch. The Equalizer, Magnificent Seven, which is definitely very different because it's a PG-13 and you know, but Olympus Has Fallen.
I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah.
I like that movie.
Yeah. Shooter. No, he's very talented. Did you see this version of Arthur? You should see.
This one with Keira Knightley.
Tears of the Sun. I think and Watch, The End of Watch is not his. I don't see on his. Let me see here real quick.
Okay. But either way, it's really emotionally intense. It does have a couple of big twists, which he saw coming. I did not. And so like just the emotional roller coaster
Never mind.
that they take you on.
But End of Watch is a David Ayer movie, which is also a great movie with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Blah blah. Yeah. But keep going. You saying?
Just I didn't see the twist coming. Oh yeah, just the emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
And it's really impressive to me how they were able to do this with just these conversations and you know and just phone conversations. We really don't see much of anything else.
Yeah.
And so you're like, there's the mystery, like what's going on with him, and then like it's a lot.
Yeah, there's a couple of moments that there's like he's on the phone with like a cop or the cops or highway patrol people, and then they kind of like they have his face and then like shadows of what's going on there, which was cool. It wasn't really necessary. We could do it without that because most of the time is only through audio and it works. It's really good. The movie is a remake from a Danish movie.
That's right.
We didn't see it, so we don't know how much different it is. But if the original is as good as this one, the original is a good one too.
Yeah, I loved it. It had me, and it has me like still thinking about things.
Yeah.
Even later on, like some of the assumptions that I made and why I made those assumptions.
The faces, that's an interesting thing. You know, the faces, you get to know people by name, you get to know details about their lives, but you've never seen them. And if you listen to our podcast, you might have the same feeling, you know, because, you know, unless you see us on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, or anyways. But in this movie, you have this whole dramatic story about these people and these characters, and you try to create their faces in your head. I don't know if you did. Because you do hear voices when you read comic books. So maybe when you hear voices, you create faces from them. Anyways.
I mean, I like too. It makes it less abstract.
No, it's good.
And it's not like an effort. Like it just pops into my head. Like like what that person
I try.
looks like.
It's not. I know. I mean, I know the characters. Some of the characters on the books really well. That they create this familiarity, this intimacy with some of them. But voices are hard because there's so many characters. It's like before Ryan Reynolds.
Sure.
How Deadpool would sound.
Yeah, that's a good question.
You know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Or Sam or Dynamite or so many Cable. Cable had a computer that would talk to him. How that would sound.
Good question.
Yeah, it was a boy. It was a girl.
I don't know.
No. His computer was a boy because it was a professor. The name of his computer. Such a cool run. Anyways, so The Guilty. It's on Netflix. We really recommend it. It's really good. And Antoine Fuqua, Jake Gyllenhaal is you can't miss it.
Yeah, it's a good one. Okay, we've also been watching a new series on Apple.
Talking about just before we move but talking about The Guilty and this whole audio exploration, how they explore audio to tell the story. One thing we saw this week that was really cool was Only Murders in the Building had an episode that was a lot from a perspective from a deaf guy, which is not new. The other people did that on movies and other TV shows. But for me it was very interesting that even when the characters that were able to speak and to hear were unseen on the script purposely, or whatever they say that word, they would not speak a word. They would speak very minimum. They would make very minimum sounds. I thought that was really well done.
It was well done to the point that I didn't notice it. I was just immersed in the world, and it wasn't until the very end when Steve Martin laughs out loud. You're like, oh wait, this whole thing has been silent, but they still managed to be very communicative and expressive, and I was just so caught up in the plot.
Which at some moments it was hard, if not impossible, because some of these characters they talk by themselves when they walk. It's like, oh, what are they gonna do now? So it was kind of out of that reality, but still it was really well done.
It was really because they just pulled us right into a different reality, and that show, I have no idea what they're going to do for a second season, but if it's anywhere half as good as this first season, that's great.
Yes.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
It's so well done.
Talking about great.
Foundations. This is an Apple TV.
It's singular.
Foundation. Just one foundation.
Yeah.
This is an Apple TV show based on an Isaac Asimov, massive science fiction epic that no one has dared to adapt for the screen. Until now. It
was cited by many movie makers, directors, creators. That was it can't be done.
Yeah, and I haven't read any of the material, although it is on my list now, because if this is the edited down version, the condensed version for the screen, oh man, this is incredible. Cool world building, and the production value, it's just really great, solid sci-fi.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And the source material is decades in the making. Asimov wrote not only books but short stories, expanded all that into something that many said is no, it can't be done. But Apple is doing really well. It's really good.
They are.
Great cast. Really, really even some drastic changes to the source material seem to be interestingly done. The empire, the importance of the emperor, and making them 3. It's wow, it's kind of a bold concept. You had an emperor that wasn't much there in the original books, and now you have 3.
Yeah.
From a lineage of clones.
It's bizarre, and every episode they're doing a great job of building out this world, but also leaving you with more questions than you had at the beginning. So there's a lot of great mysteries happening. We're jumping around time periods, which gets a little bit tricky. There's a lot to keep track of. But I'm totally on board with it.
Yeah, so far it's working really well.
It feels in scope, it feels like a sci-fi Game of Thrones or something. just like huge and vast, and this huge world that they've created.
Different nucleus of characters, like different houses or different places. In this case, different planets.
Yeah.
The whole time, the way they do with time, it reminds me a little bit of The Witcher. But in this is made. I think it's made a little bit better, because in The Witcher it's like.
In The Witcher, you have no idea.
And there's the time jumps, and then there's it's like woods everywhere, so you don't know. It's like, oh, is this the same woods he was here 5 minutes ago? Which was like 50 years before it is.
No, yeah, in The Witcher, you don't figure out the time jumps until like halfway through the season.
Yeah. When
things start to line up, or rather don't line up. This one, they label them for you. And different. Anyway. But it's great. It's great.
Yeah, so far it's working really as beautiful. It's Apple TV.
Okay, let's go over to Amazon. So The Boys has been doing so well for them, and they've ordered a spin-off.
Yes, does it have a name?
I don't think so.
It's about college for superheroes, right? Or superheroes at college.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like you mentioned earlier, it's like the Professor X Academy.
Yeah. So maybe the dark twisted boys version of Professor Xavier's home for gifted children.
Yeah.
School for gifted children.
There's a lot to expand in that universe, because you know the seven. And the thing about the seven, they all suck. They're all bad. But there's other supers in that universe. Some retired, some that are bad too. So there's no good ones there. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, if they're playing on this whole idea of like power corrupting, and plus there's this organization that's behind all of it.
That's true.
That's pretty.
So we'll see. Maybe
terrible.
Because in the base show, in The Boys, we see that there's this girl that she was a good girl, and then she was recruited by the Seven, and then she became bad. She's kind of a double agent there, but maybe
just kind of eat her up and spit her out.
Maybe we're gonna see some others like that. Some they're actually good and become bad. We don't know.
I don't know.
Soon on Amazon.
Yes. So that's kind of playing off of some ideas introducing X-Men, but people are talking. What was it, like rumors or like petitions, or is Disney actually talking about?
But it's
not talking about the X-Men.
I don't know if some writers involved are talking about, but there's this wave, and by wave I mean like this little twinkle of social justice warriors says, no, it can't be X-Men because there's woman there too. So they have to find a solution. So it's gonna be X ? Or XX. I don't know. I think it's another change that doesn't do much, and it might sound like it's doing great for these times, but in 50 years from now, it's like, really? People were fighting for some crap like that? The characters were created like that? Anyways, I think it's just ridiculous. And it's like,
it feels like a huge waste of time and energy.
Yes, yeah.
To me.
For nothing. And when the market demands changes, or if a company changes something because the market demands, and because people want that, and by I mean want that, a lot of people want that, because if the market doesn't change, if a company doesn't change something, people will buy from a different company or start buying from them. Fine, but a lot of this crap is like, it doesn't change their profits. It's not the massive number of people that demand that, otherwise they're gonna buy somewhere else, and not that it's like a minority, and I think it's not worth it. Anyways, if it changed, I hope and doubt that they will change. I mean, Stan Lee is dead, so they might make him, roll in his grave and try to change his X-Men. And it sucks because the X-Men already, how they are, they have the most amazing, great female characters.
They do.
In comic books. They don't need to change that. Storm is such a great character.
Phoenix.
The leader of the X-Men.
Yeah.
The leader. But, our days.
Oh, well.
Yeah, moving on.
Yeah, just a waste of time and energy. Okay, so over a decade after cancellation, Law and Order is getting a 21st season.
Yes. And I had no idea how they're gonna do it. I wonder if they're gonna bring original characters and...
They don't know. There's no cast. Sam Waterston is at the top of everybody's wish list, of course, but there's no...
Joe West is gonna come back?
I don't...
He was in that show, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, I don't know. There's no cast. But Dick Wolf and Ricky, like the original creators,
course,
right?
Yes,
they're behind this, so...
Yeah. I don't think. I think Dick Wolf still has an office at CBS. I don't think he ever left. He has like all the shows and stuff. But but about Joe West, the joke is like the Flash is kind of dead, so might as well get a new job. Actually, it was said that he will leave the show for good. But everybody that says they're gonna leave the show for good, they come back. As crazy as what's his bucket?
Harrison Wells.
What's his name?
Tom Cavanaugh.
Cavanaugh says that, and he comes back in the very next episode.
It's not even like a season or something. Like,
all
like, oh, he's dead.
So was Valdez. So was Cisco. It's like, hey, you guys missed me. It's like, no, it's been like less than a week. Anyways,
we've had no time.
There was the same thing was said about Joe West, which I can't remember his name. But he came back. So yeah. Anyways, we shall see what happens with that. Sticking with the Law and Order theme, another show that was canceled is getting another season elsewhere. All Rise. Yes. Fubu, Tuku, Tubi, Kubi, Cubu. Well, who's getting the new season?
I don't know. You have here OWN, OWN.
Oh, it's OWN Networks, the Oprah TV. So,
okay.
Yeah, so they're getting the show. Everybody's coming back but one character. So, yeah, I guess they're going to be able to revive the show. And it has their audience, so good for people that watch, they're going to be able to watch. And, you know.
And in the meantime, the first two seasons, they have deals for streaming.
Yes.
Too. So the show's canceled but not dead.
And the irony, after, I don't know how the deals work for cable, but, you know, after 100 episodes, it gets indicated, and it might be able to come back to network TV. That would be an interesting case. We'll see.
Okay, cool. A lot of cancellations today. Joseph Gordon-Levitt had a show on Apple.
Yeah, Mr. Corman.
One season.
Yeah. We didn't see yet. I wanted to see it, but now there's cancer. I feel like it's really waste my time. Anyways, depends. Maybe it's interesting enough that. Maybe it's one of those very few exceptions where they finish the season like they should finish the show. Because when they have to finish a show, they suck at it. But some season finales are great, you know?
It's true. I guess maybe without the pressure of like ending a whole show, you can write good stuff. Yeah. I don't know. It's, a good finale is hard to come by. The Wonka, this is a show, right?
No, it's a movie.
It's a movie, yeah. Their cast list is looking pretty cool. So Chalamet is Wonka, we knew that before. But who's joined the cast?
Mr. Bean?
Yeah, Rowan Atkinson.
Rowan Atkinson.
Love that guy.
What's the book? The Corman, the Olivia Colman?
Olivia
the Queen of Former, because next season there's going to be a new one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's going to be the bad girl on Harry Potter, the bad lady.
That that's right,
hates.
Dolores Umbridge. I can't remember the actress's name.
Yeah, so...
She's lovely.
How you like her? I thought everybody hates her.
Well, everybody hates Umbridge. I'm saying the actress is lovely.
Sure.
No, Umbridge is like a particularly insidious kind of evil.
Yeah. So, great cast and it's just the beginning.
That's right. Oh, Sally Hawkins too.
Sally Hawkins, which was on the image
the shape
of color. The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
She was the shape. Oh, no, she was the water.
Or was she the water?
Huh?
I don't know.
That movie is...
It's an odd one.
Movie.
Yeah, it sure is. Okay, we're already getting... what show is coming out on the 25th, on December 25th?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I was trying to do a cool segue. Forget that. Book of Boba Fett has a release date.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I totally knew that. Yeah, the Book of Boba Fett is coming in December.
Yeah, December 29th.
Guess who's coming for Christmas? Boba Fett.
Yeah, well, it's coming after Christmas.
December 21st?
The 29th.
Oh, 29th. Okay.
Yeah, but there's another show that is premiering the 25th, and I can't remember which one it is.
December?
So, yeah.
The Birth of Christ. No, there should
Is
be
that a show?
I mean, it was the greatest show in the universe.
Was it?
The audience was only what three wise men.
No.
3 shepherds.
No, they showed up like a year late.
Huh? That's what I'm saying. The 3 shepherds, the sheep, and all the old hostess and angels in the universe waiting for that. Anyways,
I love you, but I'm gonna get somebody else to write that script.
I saw after everybody the trailer for Hawkeye, which it's interesting. It's Marvel. It's okay. It's nothing crazy, nothing new. There's Haley Steinfeld. I think she's great, and the guy is back. What's his bucket? Can't remember. Roger, Tyler, Aaron, Edgar. You know, the guy that is Hawkeye.
Jeremy Renner?
Jeremy Renner.
There we go.
Yes.
I wasn't sure which guy you were talking about. And it took me that long to remember.
Anyways. And it's like super Christmassy. And there's like the action and in the lines and how the trailer goes.
Yeah.
It's like it feels so like Die Hard. It was like, oh, the guy, I know what they did there. And
I could think of worse.
Yeah.
Things.
No, it's good. It's good. It's gonna be fun. One thing that I noticed is he's wearing a hearing aid, which is very current to the books, because if you follow the books, Hawkeye actually got deaf. And there's this whole thing. So it's that's the thing with adaptations these days. They get some of the core of the original source, and then they get something recent to try to to please Greeks and Trojans, to please everybody. So a little of the core, a little of recent, and makes all that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. To make Venom a good guy, and then at the end make him hate Peter for no reason. Anyways, so Hawkeye is another one coming November 20-ish. So
all right,
ready for Christmas.
We will be very busy.
Yeah. What's the other one you said about December 25th?
Well, I can't remember.
It's a movie?
No, I think it might be. Is it Mandalorian season 3?
No, Mandalorian's not gonna come this year.
It's one that I was so excited about. I can't remember. Oh well.
Bad Batch?
Well,
no, definitely
no,
not.
wasn't that one?
Yeah. I also saw the trailer for Red Notice, and it looks fun.
Yes.
Yeah, but Tom Hanks is coming with an apocalypse movie. Saw that one too. He lives by himself with a dog and a robot, and is trying to deal with the wordplay solar flare by himself with a volleyball. Oh no, not a volleyball.
Yeah.
Maybe he does have a volleyball. I don't know. Yeah.
No, but it definitely has like really intense Castaway vibes. But that was a great movie, and Tom Hanks is an incredible actor, so whatever. Yeah. If they want to repackage Castaway, I'll watch it. I'll probably love it. We'll probably cry at some point.
And last but not least, we saw the trailer for Moonfall. Roland Emmerich, new sci-fi where the moon is falling.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the trailer, there's something alien looking. Like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, that was kind of a surprise. This looks like every other Roland Emmerich film, which is totally fine.
Yeah,
like, some massive disaster. Yeah. Beloved landmarks will be obliterated.
Yeah, made it to see
our heroes will survive
IMAX.
Against all odds.
Maybe to see on IMAX and jump.
Yeah.
And cry and laugh. Not laugh all the time, like Ben. Okay, and
Scarlett Johansson settled with Disney.
Oh, yes, talking about Disney. They settled, and she said she was happy about it. And she said they're
gonna work together in the future.
I doubt it.
Well,
I honestly, not because of her. I think she would. But I think Disney's gonna. I don't know. I have this feeling that the mouse share no power, and she created this whole mess, not only for her and for Disney, but for the future deals. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe even if she never works for Disney anymore, there's plenty of other companies and studios that she can work. At least until Disney buy all of them. But the amounts were not discussed, so we have no idea. And last quick one, Ridley Scott announced that he's worked on the script for the new Gladiator.
Yes, a follow-up. He says it's inching closer to the top of his priority list.
And when he gets to his priority, it's like great. He does great things.
Yeah. So,
I'm excited to see his new one. What's it called? The Duel?
The Last Duel. Yeah.
That looks good.
That one looks very good. And it's based on real events.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is. So I have to do a little bit of reading about that.
Cool.
Before we go see it. But yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah. I guess that's it for this week. Next week you're seeing the new James Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's back. Everybody that watched it said that it's worth the wait. And
it's been a wait.
And it's like we saw this brand new last trailer, and it's like it's pumping. It's intense, and it's the last one, so there will be surprises, and let's see how they're gonna end this. And
I don't know.
So next week we'll be back for that and whatever else happens during this week.
In the meantime, live long and prosper.
Yeah, may the force be with you.
Bye.
Bye.